Greetings, Newman. Great to see you on, mate. Hope you're well. I'd like to welcome you to what may be a new series, or it may not. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet, but today, what I'm definitely going to do is look for a farm that might be worth buying, but we are, as I always am, on a budget. 500,000 in the bank, and let's see what we can find for our money. So, as we go to the map, this is quite literally the very first time that I have seen this map. So, I have absolutely no idea where we're going on any of it. I just need to make sure that everything's sort of on the map so that I know where I'm going. If we look at the farmlands, wow, some of these farmlands are going to be a little bit expensive, so we might be starting small and building big if we do one on here. So I'm glad to see you're doing well, Newman. I'm doing very well. I see you've been putting a couple of streams out recently. I was sound asleep when you did your last one, but I did sort of catch up with a little bit of it on the in the morning when I woke up. So you're doing some great stuff, mate. Keep up the good work. So yeah, so this is the farmlands and the fields. Like I say, this is the very first time that I've seen it. So we're in this little clutch of town at the moment, which you can actually, you can buy the town, but you've got to be loaded to do it. So that ain't gonna happen. So, but the individual fields are not too badly priced. I mean, I would say for 14 acres, that's a very reasonable price. So you got a few bits of water all over the map, so that is great news for anybody who needs water for the animals or whatever, or the greenhouses, whatever it is you want to put on your farm that you choose to do. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the encouragement there, Newman. It's really great to have you on as well. I hope you can stick around for a bit and see what we're going to find on this map. Because, like I say, I've just watched a little bit of Bruce's stream, but I had to come on, have a good look around myself, and rather than do my East Vinelands tonight or my Attingham Park, I decided I'd come and have a look on here. I fitted my steering wheel up and then decided I'm going on my bike, so I don't think that it was a wise decision to put my steering wheel on, because riding a bike with a steering wheel is just a nightmare. So if we come out of the shop and we turn right, there's not a whole lot there. So actually, I think what I'll do is I will turn right and just investigate some of these little places that we've got. I am debating whether or not to turn off the traffic, because I think I'm going to end up killing myself. So yeah, I think I'll do that before we do anything else, because they will get me before long. And it's a bit of a pain every 5 minutes having to pick your bike up off the road. So just bear with me 1 minute and we'll send everybody into the never never. Where are we? Traffic, disappear. Be gone. There we go. And just like magic, they're all gone. And so we can now search in peace without fear of our lives. I seem to remember it took me about 5 minutes in Attingham Park before I was sprawled on the floor and picking my bike up with a big queue of traffic laughing at me. So what have we got in here? So if we go back to the map and then show you where we are, and because I've done that, I've come off the map again. Where on earth are you? So we're here, At the grain factory, we've got, it's all, I think it's pretty much all to do with the grain. There, around the corner here, we've got the grain mill, the bakery, the dairy, the train stop, the seed shed, and the fertilizer shed. So let's just squeeze through, see what we can see. So if I've worked this out right now, the bakery should be just on our left here. Somewhere. Seems a distinct lack of signage. Ah, there's the dairy and the bakery. So that must be another part of the grain mill. The train track was just behind us there. Yeah, you've only got to watch my Attigan part to realise, Newman, why I've switched off the traffic. The first road I turned on and I was spread-eagled on the floor. And I had to pick my bike up and throw it in the air to get it to stand back up again. Truth is, I'd have been dead if it was real life. So this is great. Comes into like a warehouse bit, and that is where you would fill from, which that's pretty cool. It's the only bike I know with a reverse gear on it as well. So I've already forgotten what it was that was around here. Oh, fertilizer and something else, I remember. So I think this was the fertilizer on the left. And I'm going to have to look because I can't remember what I said was on the right. Oh no, it's a right for the fertilizer shed and a chemical shed. That was it. So if you want your fertilizer, you know where to come. And then there's just one more building round to the right. And it is the sawmill. Is that the same road that the shop was on or a different road? I'm not totally sure. I've a little bit lost my bearings already. So no, I think it's a different road. But if we were to turn right, it's the end of the map, so at least there's only one way we can go. And we'll soon find out if it's the shop or not. Just houses there. Oh yeah, this is the shop. I do remember now these houses. I have to say, I do like owning a dirt bike on this. If you've watched any of my streams, you will have noticed already. So, a Super Bowl. So, as we get to the top now, I assume the shop was just to the right. I think that's it, where that sign is there. So now we will just see what's straight across, and then we'll disappear out onto the map and start looking for the actual farms. Because we can find all these when we've actually started our work. So this is obviously the livestock market. So should we want any animals, this is where we come. This is, I presume this is like an auction area as well. That's pretty cool. So let's have a look. This is where all the pens. What would be even cooler, and I don't know if it does exist in the game, I'm going to assume it doesn't, but would be to have actual animal markets. That would be a pretty cool addition. Come on, you can start moving, bike. The only difficulty I find with a bike is, especially when you're using the keyboard, is that there's only full-on turning, full-on acceleration, full-on braking. There's no sort of like touch control which can make it lighter or slower acceleration, all that jazz. So, but yeah, I think that's basically everything in that corner. And now we'll just quickly look at the map, and I think we'll follow straight roads first of all, just because we could get some speed up. You'll have to be very quick in looking at the fields, but what we'll do is we'll go straight all the way up to the top of the map. Again, in the top corner, we've got a few things to look at: the gas station, the fast food restaurant, sawmill, farmer's market, debris crusher, and spinnery. But what we're actually going to be mainly interested in at 90 miles an hour is all of the fields, the different fields that we're going to go past. But the road system doesn't look too complicated. So I think, reading my chat and nearly disappearing off the road. But yep, so as you can see, there's fields on both sides, pretty big fields. So I don't know how much equipment my 500 grand is going to buy me, but it's not going to be very good for these fields. Certainly starting on the hard mode on this particular map is going to be quite a challenge for anybody. I think your best bet, realistically, is buying a field, living in a tent, and just starting slowly with that field. But yeah, there's the fences on every field as well. Now this turning here, I believe, just leads us to the edge of the map. But there is a nice little tiny field near the water, and I was just wondering how small that actually was. I mean, in comparison to some maps, it's not the smallest field in the world. So, you know, that's a possibility of a field that would be a good starter for somebody. And to your right, again, you've got another one. It's all the water that you see by the looks of it is all irrigation ditches and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go to where it's a little bit bigger here and just have a quick look, just to see what the potential is for drawing water out. Well, it's not even water. It's just mud. Hope you don't sink in it. So unless that floods and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't think it's any use in terms of water for the animals. So what have you got planned over the weekend, Newman? So we'll head back to the main road, I think. So there is like a track down there. And there are some buildings. Let's go and have a look where that leads. This is the great thing with the off-roading capabilities of this bike, is that we can go pretty much anywhere. And I'm sure we can find some nice little jumps as well somewhere. Ah, so this must be one of the farms. So you got a little tiny grassland, which will be quite handy. Which leads into a forest at the edge of the map. I'm not going to go in there with my bike because I might never find my way out again. So if we just vacate the bike and have a quick look at the buildings that we've got here. Obviously, because we don't own them, we can't go in any of them. So I may be at a little loss as to what they are. I'm not the biggest expert in defining what places are within a map. So if we just come down here, so we're looking at a seed shed, a fertilizer shed, and then behind the fertilizer shed was a chemical shed. So I think this is the chemical shed, if we're honest, going by that, because there's no buildings behind there. That is clearly a farmhouse of sorts. We've got a vehicle shop up there. So I'm looking in the wrong bit. Why am I looking there? This is where I meant to be looking. So it doesn't actually tell you there. Have I got all the hotspots on? Yeah. So it doesn't tell you there what all them buildings are actually. So it's obviously just a little encampment for somebody. Just shows you that I literally have not seen any of this map before. So this is all completely new to me. And sometimes I'll say something is somewhere and be completely wrong, simply because I haven't got a clue what's going on this map at all. It is so new to me. So we'll get the speed up again. I mean, the good thing about what I like about these fields is that, unlike a lot of American maps that are very square, these are all over the show. There's just so many different shapes and sizes. You know, this is my kind of map in that context. I love to see the different shaped fields and having to cope with them. I mean, I don't know how the workers will cope with them. The AI is not very clever, even on the square ones. But I doubt very much that they will be. So there's a toy store there. A few houses down here. So if we find ourselves on the map, we're heading down this back road here. Bring it in a little bit so we can just see what we've got here. Nothing of these are worth a mention in terms of hotspots on the map, so I assume that they're just buildings for decoration. What would be interested, it would be to see whether they classed as any kind of farmland or anything. So there is some water there, which we could potentially, if you had a farm in this direction, be getting close to. It looks a little bit better than that dried up ditch that we saw at the last stop. And again, these are just generally houses. Until we get any, I think this was was it, the Northern Mill? And then we've got the other side of the water, we've got the fast food restaurant, the gas station. So if we keep going this way, we come to the farmer's market and the spinnery. What I wanted to quickly check on the farmland. So you can buy that building at 67 and the field at 62. So I mean, actually, 250k for a load of trees, a reasonable sized field. You're not too far away from water. I would say, that is a prospect for a cheap starter farm, which is maybe one of the places that a lot of people won't think about starting a farm on this particular map. So if we go down here now, I think this was the road which leads to the farmer's market. So it's straight across the road. Don't know why I'm looking. There's not going to be any cars going. Forgotten I've switched off the traffic. It's just habit now. So that's the farmer's market. And I can't remember what the other thing was. Was it a fast food restaurant or something like that? Nope, can't remember. It's gone. That's me. A spinnery, that was it. Yeah. And then the debris crushers on the other side of the river. I think we've got to go back to the bridge. Just to the road back there. Let's hope we can get round here without crashing into a tree. It hasn't made it easy for me, has it? We're off-roading again. So we'll head back to the road. Oh, too far, too far. And right is the end of the map, so... I think it surprised me that this was actually a standard map. Because... So what's that one there? Trying to work out what that is. It doesn't tell us on there, so we've got a fast food restaurant on our right. And the gas station. They've got cars parked outside them, so they've got customers. So the laundromat. I'm at a loss at what that one is, but it doesn't tell us on the map either. So without careful investigation, which I'm not going to do, because it's not a farm, so I'm not interested in it really. What's this place here now? This one has got a... So that's the debris crusher. Good to know. I'll tell you what, there's plenty of trees on the map that can soon find death at the hands of a chainsaw. So straight on his end of the map. Turn right and we're on a small road. By the looks of it. With field 28 through them trees, it looks a big field. Let's see if we can get full appreciation. Wow, look at that. 28 and 29 sort of intermingled together there. I don't know where one starts and the other finishes. So actually 29 is the much bigger of the two. And so if we looked at that in terms of value, it's nearly all of your money to buy that one. But only 188,000 for that one, which isn't too bad for what you're getting there. I think there you could actually create a pretty substantial crop and make a great farmhouse building and a few other buildings as well, and still have plenty of land to be working with and plenty of trees to chop down and make use of. So if we come to the top of the hill and follow it round, we've got a little something or other to the left which could be of interest. Now this looks like a possibility. See if I can turn around. It's so much harder to get the turns accurate on the bike when you're on keyboard. But this is a, I assume a battered old farmhouse of some sort. It actually looks quite nice inside. I'm sure they don't mind me looking around their property. That's the office. Be a bit worried if I found somebody in one of these. The bedroom. Hope they haven't got a dog. There's a little bit of water, is that down there, or a white path? It's difficult to tell. I'd have to get a bit closer. Or I could just look on the map. I think it is water, yeah. So it's that little bit of water there. Does it class as a farmland? So 68. So actually, that's a reasonably cheap place. If you bought the land opposite it as well, you're still under 150 grand. Or just over. Good maths there, Stevie. And yeah, so there's potential there for a little small holding to get you going with some massive fields to be saving up for, really. I think what you'd have to do is sort of start off with your 68 and 63, buy farmland 65, and then you can either push out that way or come back and get one of the bigger fields here. I mean, that one there that we're heading towards now is a massive amount of area, and it's only 391. I mean, that is quite incredible. When you look at that little area there, 781,000, that again is a bargain. So there are some fields here that you could buy on this map. I mean, if you didn't mind travelling to do your work, you could probably have 6 or 7 fields on this map, just with your 500,000. Obviously, you'd need to have some equipment, really. It's pointless just having the fields, but the point is that one good harvest on one reasonable field will buy you quite a few little plots of land around the map. So it would certainly be interesting to go over that. Well, I just want to have a quick look at this water. So we'll run as fast as we can. Why am I on slow? Speed up. So I don't know how deep it is. Let's just go and investigate. I think I'm walking on water here. Where am I walking? Oh no, if you tilt your head in a certain direction, the water disappears. But no, it's obviously not deep enough to go for a swimming, so... But I'm sure it'll be enough to give water to your animals, should you so need. So let's head back to the bike. So we're very nearly done all the corners of a map so far. I think we've got to just get to the end of this corner, and then it's back down to the opposite bottom corner of the map. And then it's just what are we missed in the middle is the question. Oh, there's a fence. I forgot about the fences. Now I've got to find the right way out. That's no fun. Right, there's a road. Let's go for that. So I think we came from the right, so... So I think what I'm going to do, just for the purpose of helping us out, I think I'll get the best map view. I think it's going to be that one, actually. So it's a bit of a postage stamp, but I was struggling to see the others. So straight ahead at this point is another massive piece of land, and this land is actually a reasonably priced piece of land. I think we get to it up here, but I could be wrong. But that's the advantage of being on this bike. If we are wrong, we can turn around and zoom back the other way, no problem. Well, I thought it was here, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, is that it? I nearly missed it. So this is flax, and it's ready to harvest. And you could buy this farmland for reasonably cheap. So I just wanted to check something before I went riding on somebody's farmland, because I have got crop destruction on at the moment. And I don't think Leroy would be very happy if he caught me riding through on my dirt bike and destroying his crops. So, somewhere down here is an irrigation ditch or something. Well, I think it's more just like, well, it looks like grass to me. But no, that is a massive portion of farmland there, and we're still in it. And it's effectively got 3 fields, and it's less than 400,000. I mean, if I was looking for a place to start without any buildings, that would be it. And I mean, I don't know how much you'd recuperate, but look at that, all this flax is ready to harvest. So all you'd need to start you off is a combine harvester, a tractor and a trailer. And you'd be able to do both of these fields and some of this field, I think it was. So I'm not totally sure how far it went. Let's have another look at the farmland. Just try and ascertain how far it goes down. So yeah, it's basically all of this field, isn't it? So is it? I'll get the right selection. Yeah, so it's all of that field there. So when you get to these buildings, I think that's somebody else's land, is it? Or is this? Oh no, this is all part of it as well. Now this is of interest to me for definite. You've got silos there already. I think we've just approached one of the main farms, just from an alien side, which nobody else will have seen before. So it's no wonder I didn't know where I was. So, and this is the farmhouse. It looks very what do we call it? Basic. Well, it has got a window. That's a bonus. It's got one window anyway. It's like a flipping prison. Ah, there's some windows. What have we got inside there? I think that's like a lounge. An office of some sort. Can't really see in there. There's somebody in the bath, I think. So yeah, that's a very interesting farmyard, that, and I think that in terms of for the value of what you pay in there, you're getting a bargain. So what's this next one? This presumably is farmland 55, and the buildings we can see are from farmland 30. Are we on farmland 7 maybe? Oh right, so that doesn't come with the fields. That's a bit of a shame, but it is fairly cheap. So if you were starting with the 1.5 million, you'd definitely be able to afford plenty of equipment to go along with that. But these fields are a blank canvas for you. There's nothing in them, so they will give you something to work on. As we approach the road, I'm just going to quickly turn right and see these buildings over here before we move on to the next bit. So what have we got in here? Are these buildings like we've seen before? Well, I think we've seen there before, haven't we? But this is definitely a more substantial plot with grain storage. You know, this looks like a little bit better established farmland. And I mean, I don't know who owns this, but they must own more than this, surely. But it doesn't seem to have any fields come with it, and it's well over our budget, so you certainly wouldn't be able to buy that at the moment. unless you took out the maximum loan that you're allowed. But you'd probably have to sell all your buildings, so it's not worth it really. So that's a definite no-go for a poor startup farmer. So we'll swing round to the left again now. Oh, we nearly forgot to turn. So again, massive fields on the right. If it looks like I'm out of control, it is, because I'm trying to keep going and look from side to side as well, because I didn't want to miss some buildings which I had a feeling were there. I can see some over there, but I'm seeing some over here, but I don't know if they're just buildings that we've already seen. I think they are. So we'll not go to them ones. How do we get to them ones over there? So we can get into the field, it's just whether we can get out of the field at the other end or not. So what's this field here? Oh, these are lentils. And oats, of course, we're familiar with. Thought they looked familiar. So there's lentils here as far as the eye can see. Now this looks like another substantial bit of farmland. Woohoo! There we go. That's what we've been looking for. A little bit of the aerial action. So we got a farmhouse. That's not a farmhouse. I thought that was the farmhouse, but it's not. It's like storage area. We can't get in because we don't own the place. But it does have windows. So that is nice. And just check that it's not on the hot spotty area. It's not. So it is genuinely just some farmland. Now to buy the housing area would be most of your money. So I don't think this one's an option either, but it is pretty nice. I think what we could do is buy a field next to it and then save up to purchase this. And I think that's always a good option. If you see an area that you like, but you can't afford the actual building, then don't buy the building. Just buy some of the land up around it, because you might even find that that brings the price of this place down. But it's got a nice little farmhouse, admittedly wooden. I would probably be tearing that down if you can eventually. There are certain things that you can't remove on this map, and I don't know what buildings and that are permanent and you can't get rid of. But again, there's just masses of land which you can really sort of like invest in. Now I'm completely spun around. I have no idea which is the best way to go from here. So since it's the end of the map that side, I think we'll turn right. We can see all the different fields. Just look at that and see what we've got in them. Anything there? Oh, there's some flax over there, and all the rest are on the usual crops. So we've got, I think that's wheat there. Yep, so that's wheat. And what colour was that? It's not oats. Thank goodness it's not potatoes. It's not sorghum. It's not olives. So it must be something on this page. Oh, it could just be unplanted actually. That might be what it is. So I don't know why I did that. But let's get going. I think I said turn right. Can't remember now. I've been faffing around looking at too many fields and stuff. But this gets us back to the main road. All we've missed, I think, is fields. So now we'll go left. Try and keep her out. There's some buildings. So on our right, community well. So there's water there. So that's handy. I mean, the amount of land here. I mean, you could break, if you didn't want to do just one massive, so this is the community well. If you didn't want to do just one massive farm to start with, you could just buy a reasonably sized field, break it into 2 or 3 fields, and just start off small and build yourself up. And I think that might be something of a different way of attacking such a vast area of farmland. Is don't go mad with your first purchase. Live in a caravan. I like this place. Little and quaint and out the way. It's got not much land with it, but it's just over 100,000. It does have partial ownership of the lake. They've obviously got kids, so I'll try not to run any over. See this bit here. If I own this place, the first thing I'd be doing is mowing all this away. Getting lovely views of the lake. Let's do the definitive test. We're going to make sure. Again, it's a walk on water jobby. So it's not deep enough for a swim. Oh, there's a swimmy bit. We found a swimmy bit. Oh, now we found a flyy bit. How do we swim? I want to go for a swim. Oh, it's not having it. It's not having it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh. It's just obviously not deep for most of it, and then there's just that one little deep hole. But either way, if you own this land, you owned access to it. Oh, blimey. I nearly missed my bike because it's that overgrown. And then there is access to a field right in front of it, which does not come in it, and it is a massive field. Absolutely massive. I'm just trying to work out. I don't think it is. There are some buildings there that I don't think we've examined yet. Let's just see. Wow. It's a shame that's as much as it is, because that would have been absolutely spectacular to own after this. And I mean, there must be a fair whack of wheat or whatever that was, and I didn't actually look. I assume it was wheat. But there's definitely plenty of wheat there that would, you know, bring back some of what you're paying for it. If you're paying 400,000 plus, you'd probably get at least 100,000 of that back doing your harvest, because that is a giant field. So what have we got here? So in the distance there, we've got some massive building of some sort, but it's not, unless we're back down to there, but I can't see that being what we can see. It might be more here, I don't know. But there's something big over there. That may be the town. Might be deceptive on that map how far away it is. But as we head towards the bottom corner, what's down this road? So I think these are part of the new crop, aren't they? Let's jump out and have a look. So peas, yeah, so peas are new. There's plenty of them. And you know, the more I look around these farms, I'm beginning to think, for me, this is a personal opinion, that you might be better buying a massive field that you can turn into a farm rather than buying the actual farms, especially if you're doing it on the hard mode like I am. I think that's got to be your way to go. I mean, this is a brilliant farm in terms of its setup. Pretty sure you can't move any of these decorations. So there's some interesting farmland around here with big islands in the middle and stuff like that. So where are we? Where are we? I tell you what, it is amazing. I'm really amazed at how much land there actually is to explore here. And it is one of those maps where you could definitely spend the whole day looking for the perfect place, when actually what you need to do is probably just put your finger on the map, find a reasonably priced portion of land, and just make that your base. And I think that's what I ultimately will do. I'll look for a big piece of farmland that isn't ridiculously expensive. I think we'll set a limit of 350,000 for whatever farmland we find. And if it's got harvestable land, then we will have to obviously look at either leasing or buying the equipment that's relevant for whatever's in that giant field. We won't be able to go big, so it'll be a long, arduous first harvest. But once we've harvested, it will be sort of something that we can break up and turn into our own little corner of happiness on the giant landscape of Edgewater. Woohoo! That was a good jump. So I've found another farm of some description. Now I believe one of these farms is made up for cows. Not sure if it's this one or not though. But again, it's surrounded with masses of land. So where we are, look at that, that's got all flax in it. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to come across any more buildings over this way. There's some silos over there. I don't know if there's anything of more interest. What's over here? That's another community well by the looks of it. Either that or a gallows. Which I'm pretty sure it's not a gallows, don't worry. So these field silos, presumably you only use them if you own the field. Weststeel Roscoe. Woohoo. Oh, we've crashed into the end of the map. I was just thinking that looks a nicely manicured area down there. And didn't see the big red X's that was stopping me going that way. So that's the bottom corner. We've done all 4 corners. Now it's a case of examining the middle of the map. And what I think I'll do, I haven't found the farm which I think is ready for cows, unless I've missed something. So that would suggest that's somewhere in the middle of the map. We're just getting to this open area, and then I'll have another good look around for buildings that we might have missed. But I'm not seeing anything there. It does seem to be all pretty much farmland and stuff. And I mean, it's a bit of a tough one to go with, really. I don't know which to look at. Do we aim to keep more in the bottom corner where the shop is, or certainly within reaching distance of that? Or more of the water seems to be up the far end of it, really. So I think we're heading back towards the end of the map again here. So we'll swing a right. Again, just some more field silos by the looks of it. So a bit of a ride through the peas. That'll pee off some farmer. Shouldn't have said that, sorry. Ooh. There's some buildings over here that we can check out. I don't think we turn yet. I think I'm looking to go too soon. Oh, now I've gone too far. Take your eyes off the road for a second and you miss it. Again, it's got water, so this is another option. A rundown garage. Pretty grubby looking house. With a very weird fencing arrangement. And let's go for the water test. He's a bit scared of that water. I think he thinks there's crocodiles in it or something. Oh, you're supposed to swim. Why aren't you swimming? We don't fly, we swim. It looks deep enough. But for some reason he doesn't swim. Oh, there we go. We've got him. We've got him. Now that is more like it. This land has got me interested. So while I tread water there, I'll find it on the map. 20. Oh, wow. Look at that. But there's your option is you could buy 23 for 300,000, live in a caravan for a period of time and sort of build up to buy 27 and 26 obviously as well. And from there you can start branching out in many directions. There's lots of quite cheap pieces of land, so like a good harvest could potentially buy you those 3 fields there. Or that field. Or that field. I think that is actually a realistic farm area where if you started with 23 and lived on your caravan and either expanded out early doors and then bought plot 27 when you started making some serious money, or you could even start looking at these areas which are just a little bit more expensive. But yeah, there's options there with that. I better rescue my man before he drowns. I've no idea where I left my bike then. So now I've got to find my way back to. I want to see that other farm. That's the other side of here. I haven't got a clue what direction I'm driving in anymore. I'm completely lost. So presumably we turn right here. Ooh, not that right. That's left. But that's what I meant. The other right. And where is that other farm? There it is. It's across the field this way. I think we might come a cropper with a hedge or something in a minute. Ooh! Right. So it's the other side of these trees, but there could be water as well. So let's see if we can get round to a road. We can, but there's a fence. How do we get out? Let me out! Oh, there we are. So there's a bridge over the troubled water. Ooh. And I still nearly ended up in it. Now that is a nice shed. I recognise that house. That's the house I knocked down in my East Vineland series. That would be ironic to have to knock it down again in this particular map as well. Somebody would think I'd got an aversion to that. So is it? I've got a feeling this might be a cow barn. So this might be the one that's set up for cattle. Because I'm pretty sure this is milk. And that is a feed silo. Yep, so here we go. We found the one place that has cattle available to it. So that nice shed was purely for cows. But that would make me more interested in buying this land after I've bought some land and built up to it. I'm beginning to think that this area now is my favourite for where we're going to be looking at to build up from the ground. But we've still got more of the map to see. It goes on and on and on, and it is really brilliant how much there is to see here. I just want to just earmark that for what farmland it is. Where are we? Okay, so that was farmland 51 or 1. I'm not. No, it must be 1. Well, it's both. But either way, whatever it is, it's saying 51 on there. Don't know what the 1 is. You seem to get it, whatever that 1 is all about. But the sort of like the lands of interest, that's just a little bit too expensive. 23. Just bear with me while I cough. 23 is a reasonable price for the size of it. 20 acres. 48 looks a reasonable sort of land as well. 85,000. It's just less than 8 acres, but it's got access to water as well, which is always of interest to me. 54 there's a little bit expensive. So, but the other option, of course, is to go for these 4 different fields all together, because all of them together are almost encompassing the area that we ultimately want to buy. That actually is another option. That looks quite big, and it's only 200,000. And in fact, you could probably get all of them free for less than 300,000, and you've basically surrounded the area which you're looking to ultimately buy. So that is definitely a possibility. So we need to go to the end of this path. Turn right. And we're nearly back where we started again, I think. I think all those buildings to the left are the shop and all the other stuff, etc, etc. So of course another option would be to try and aim to be near all of the lands. So in terms of farmland here, you got 58, good value. Now that is brilliant because it's got water in it and it's massive, but it is nearly all of the money at the same time. But it is an interesting one, that all of that land, you could easily be separating it to different areas. So what have we done? We've done an hour and we've just about got round most of the map. We've not touched the middle of it. So what I'm going to do now is earmark a couple of places to visit and just have a look at in terms of with an actual view of buying. And we're going to look at some of the biggest just for the price. So we can't afford that one. But the areas around it are very affordable. So that would be an option to look towards. That's a massive area for the price, but we'd have to go into borrowing a bit more money to kick it off, I think. These areas up here were of interest, but probably more that one than any of the others. I mean, you could really combine those two. That would give you a reasonable portion of land. You could actually try and start building around this sort of, like I say top corner, but it's mid to top corner, isn't it? So there's no way you buy it all that system. But I think that this is my area that I'm interested in. So it's not a million miles away from the shops. You've got some affordable land there. So if you went for there, you're right by the shops. If you went for there, you've got nearly a whole portion of the map. And that is interesting in itself. But we can't afford that building that's set up for the cattle yet. And that's the definitive word. So I would be tempted here to go for those three there, which is, I mean, look at that, 12,000. I mean, compared to my East Vineland save, these prices are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Something like that on East Vinelands would cost you about 150,000, and it's 12,000 here. So you could buy all of M4 for, what's that, 62, 62, 102, 152 for those. And even chucking that one, although that's more expensive, it must have buildings on it. You got a bit of grassland, I think that will be there, and that big area there. I think we start building around this corner of the world. I think this is where we sort of aim for, and then ultimately we can splash out further afield. But that will ultimately become our central point. But I'm going to suggest that this is what we do. We spend 350 odd thousand and get 5 fields. One of those fields we'll have to plonk a caravan on. Maybe there's a little bit of woodland here that we could perhaps utilise for that, or even up here. So I think that's what we do, and we make that our main field, and these our side fields, and that will leave us 150,000 to deal with the fields, whatever's on them. I haven't looked at what's on them. So, yep. So what were the actual field numbers here? So it's field number 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And so what we'll do is we'll go and have a quick look at what's on them. So this is an empty field. That's a bit of a bummer because it doesn't give us a head start with our target. That's a bit of a shame. But it is also a blank canvas as well. It does mean that we could potentially plant something on there. Lease a planter, get some seed in. I think for a field that size, when we're in such a vast area, you could probably make that grassland as well. So it looks like the next field along, which is the tiny field, is not even got anything in it. So Leroy owns that as well. We could be buying Leroy out here. Then we've got this field, which is canola that is ready to harvest, so we do at least get something to harvest. Which, actually, having had the other two fields like that, it might have been better not to. But that was field number 15, so we want to go across one more field. But I'm thinking that this is what we do. Is we turn that field into grass, the biggest field. We go, we deal with the harvest here, which is canola. And the harvest here, which looks like oats, yeah. Which is oats, and it's a good size. You know, 13 acres, is that? Or was it? No, sorry, it's 3 acres for the oats. The whole land is 4 acres. But what we've done is we've surrounded the area which we ultimately want to buy out, which has got the cattle on it as well. And obviously the grass will be important for that, so it will be a bit annoying because we're going to be dependent on grass again in general. But we can certainly plant in these smaller fields with the view to whatever cattle we would be feeding ultimately. So maybe, I mean, I don't know what we will need for cattle. I'll have to look into it because I believe it has changed. But yeah, so the first 500,000 of harvest will, after we've got our equipment, of course, would have to go towards buying the cattle farm. And so that is the farm that we will ultimately go for. Once again, I meet my nemesis of a house, and we'll sell it again, if I can. But that's not going to be possibly even in the first year. It's the first year we're going to be slumming it in a caravan. Unless I do have a mod on here which does make definitely does make the house prices fluctuate, so we might be able to find that after a while it becomes even cheaper, so we can then afford it quicker. But I think we buy the land around it. We've got 2 fields which we'll need to plough and planting, and then we've got 2 fields which are ready to harvest, and it's difficult to know which one to do out of them, but let's get on with the purchase. So that is actually done. So it was that area there. Buy. Yes. That area there. Buy. Get the right thing. Yes. That area there. By. Yes. That area there. By. Yes. And that leaves us with a bit of a measly balance of 192,000. But we can do with that what we will, and hopefully that will bring us in quite a bit of money. So we know we need to get a harvester, and I think the same header will do both of those, so that's not too bad. We'll probably have to lease it for the first effort, but it will more than pay for itself, I'm sure. We need a tractor and a trailer. We need a caravan to live in. That's very important. We need a massive seeder, because it'll take forever to do all this. And I mean, if you look at this now, this is going to be the main field for our farm, you would imagine. And if we expand on the cow side of things, they would be expanding out to this way. Sadly, these trees don't look much use in terms of the value of them. They're not very thick. So if they come down, they will purely be coming down just to increase the space that we have, or maybe that will be the site for our caravan, I don't know. If we're even able to cut them down, it's whether we own them or not. So at the top end here we've got more woodland, which again I don't think we own, but once we do own it we could quite easily sort of like take over this land and make it more usable. I just want to try and get to, if I can, that water, just to see how accessible it is. So I think we can negotiate with the farm that we create a drive-through here, just so that we've got access to the water ourselves. I don't think there'll be any issue with that. I don't think it's deep enough to lose my bike. But yeah, that's it, we've got our land. I'm quite happy with that. There is this area here, which I think we looked at, but this was a lot dearer than this. I don't understand why it was so much dearer. Farmland. Yeah, oh no, it's not that bad actually. Do you know what? I think we're going to buy this land as well. And then, actually, from 52, all of 53 would be grass. 49, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. I think that might have to be something stupid like potatoes or something, which for a small field will be quite useful. 50 and 56 will become useful crops for the cows when we get them, but initially I think they'll probably end up just being something like wheat and oats and sorghum and you know, the stuff that's going to be useful for animals and stuff like that. But yeah, so the first thing we need to do is find somewhere to live. So we'll go back to our land and find the most accessible bit. I mean, do I own this bit now? I don't know where I own from. But you see that, potentially, if that gate was mine, because that's my land, they would have to give me access through there. This could be the place for my caravan as well. Just check that there's no other entrance to it. Oh, there is. And it's annoyingly right in between a load of trees. So they would argue that I didn't need to enter through that way. But I could still put my caravan there if I own that land. Do you know, I think that might be the answer. We would have to create a path through to the big field. Through the trees. I think we can get rid of some of the fencing to do that as well. So that's not an issue. But this land here is... Oh, there's a... Oh, well, that was quite a good skillful trick there. Couldn't do that twice if I tried. I think we've got to get that land at some point now. I just hope that now that he's surrounded and lost all this field, I just hope that he's willing to sell soon. So what we need to do for this ground now is it's probably if we just buy a cheap lizard plough that will be big enough. It's 9 meters. We'll fairly quickly do that. We're gonna have to hire a tractor that we just keep permanently, and I think we're only going to be able to afford one tractor at the moment as well. We need a big seeder, which we'll have to hire, and what else? Well, we're gonna have to get it delivered as well, because if I've only got one tractor, I'm not running back for every little piece of equipment. I'm tempted to just do the harvest first. That is my first job. I wonder if I own this land here. I better do, you know. I'm just wondering about the caravan going here. If we took away a few of those trees. So I think that's the job. First things first, we've got to sort out our house. So we need a chainsaw. Not on now, not on the right bit. One chainsaw, where you hiding? There you are. I couldn't see you then. It's starting to get a bit late for me now, obviously. So we have our first tool for the day. And what I will do, I think, before we crack on with the work, I'll go and take a comfort break, and then we'll be right back to carry on. So, welcome back. Even though you didn't go anywhere, it was me who disappeared. Right, yeah, so let's get rid of some of these trees and create a space for our caravan. I do make these on the spot decisions sometimes, and oh, it went the opposite way. I've never seen that happen before. So we obviously have got lumberjack on. I'm wondering if we can, with this lumberjack, I mean, how heavy is that tree? Oh yeah, it's liftable. So what we'll do with the trees, if assuming they're liftable, we'll just chuck them over this side out of the way. Just for now, they're not going to be worth any money, so, or very little anyway, so we're not going to be worried too much about selling them at this moment. I seem to remember it's a long way to the sawmill, so we haven't got the equipment to transport them. So if we can make them disappear at some point, that will be wonderful. There we go. So I mean, this is only a temporary home as well, so it's not like we've... So that one is just too heavy. So what we'll do, rather than cheat, we'll chop it in half. And now it should be manageable. It's going to be touch and go on the other bit, whether that's going to be manageable. Oh, it's still not manageable. I don't want to cheat, so we will keep chopping away at it until we can carry it. Look at that, by 4 kilo. Oh my word. That's an extra trip. There we go. Right, so we'll get hold of that. And up we go. So then we'll have to landscape it. Get rid of all of the other stuff. Didn't mean to switch my torch on there. I can't see where the fallen down tree is. Ah, there it is. So I want to try and make that branch that's sticking out disappear if I can. There we go, that should have done that. Not all of it. There we go, that's better. Last thing we need is to shorten the walkway. There's more trees sticking out, I think. So, that. Timber! Oh, my head. I'm stuck. I'm like dead, I think. Hello? That's a good job it's not very heavy, this tree. I'll go as far in as it'll let me with that. Can I get out of it? Yes. There we go, we're out of it. Oh, nearly fell over my bike. And how are we doing? It's just gone midnight here for me. Beginning to burn the midnight oil. I don't think I got rid of the tree stump before, so that will be something I'll have to get rid of when I landscape in a minute. And that's another bigger tree. So what I'll do with this one, save any hassle, I'll cut it into 3 good sized chunks, and that should, in theory, be manageable at every level. Bound to have got it wrong, and it already suggests that I have. Wow. How did you get it that wrong? Absolutely ridiculous. Now it's 4 trips. So there's no place like home. There's an auction going for some land or other. Unfortunately, I've got no money, so where are the trees? So I'm stuck again. Help! Let me out! I can't find myself out. Oh, I am lost in the woods. Well, I managed to find my way out, but not where I'm supposed to be. Right, that's it. I'm landscaping first. These bushes are doing me head in. Right, so construction, landscape, painting. So on the side where we want the caravan, I suggest we do concrete of some sort. So we've got dirt, we've got asphalt, dirt. Let's asphalt, gravel. Let's go with gravel. So nice big area to start with. Just want to be careful here that I'm not doing too much of my field, because it's such a small field. I don't want to lose too much of it, do I? So I think in terms of the field, that is the only bit we want to touch. So that area there is mine. So all mine. So now we can come out of there. And I can see the tree trunk that I missed as well, so that's good. Maybe. That has gone. was hoping that I could make this disappear, but it's not happening. It's proving to be a longer job than had I just carried it, but I'm committed now, so... So that is just a little bit, so that should disappear as soon as I get rid of it. Yes, yes, that's better. This tree looks a bit more substantial. Get a little bit closer. This one might be worth a decent bit of money as well. Ah. So what I'm thinking is that when we've got rid of all the when we've got the farmland that we require, all this area that I've turned to gravel now will still be okay for us, because what we'll do is get rid of the caravan that we're going to be living in at the moment, and put some forms of sheds or silos or something in its place, so it won't be wasted area. It's just at the moment, is this one of the heavier ones? Yep. So got that out. We'll butcher it at the halfway stage, so that's manageable. And I think we'll have to move it so that we can get to the other one. We'll just get this caravan in position. Won't take too long. And then we'll do some harvesting, and I think that'll do for today. And I'll make the decision on whether we completely commit to this series, or it becomes just a little bit of a play around, which we don't persist with for too long. But I think it's got potential. I think it's got legs. You know, it's a popular map. The only thing that does concern me is, obviously, it's a new map. Issues may be found, and when they are found, we could find that update after update, and we have to restart the save game, and that would be a bit of a disappointment, really. That is massive, that tree. Don't know where that tree came from compared to all the others, which just aren't any size whatsoever. Why is that still not carryable? Just doesn't make any sense. The maths does not work out on that at all. So I think we're probably enough trees down now. It's just a case of moving the wood pieces out of the way. Looks a bit unsightly there, but I haven't got a skip or anything, so. But this big tree is actually going to be sellable, so it'd definitely be worth it. So 2 ton of tree. Very annoyingly, it's several very large branches, so even when I've chopped the branches, I probably can't move them without cheating. Right, so let's now see where we're at with the weights. So that's 300, so that's got to go basically in half. That's 424, it's got to go in 3. That's easily manageable. Right, so 3 pieces for this one. I mean, when I've got a little trailer, this slot can go to the sawmill. Might be worth £1,000 for the trip. So if I cut that there, that will be, I presume, about half of the weight. So there's 5 pieces of wood that we can move to one side. Yeah, so we're okay with that one. We'll keep this wood over here because this is sellable. There we go. That's that one. That's too heavy still. I don't believe it. Surely now I can lift that. That one there. That is as heavy as some of the big trees I've been carrying in here. It's ridiculous. Exactly the same weight, and it's just a branch off a tree. Just shows you that these bigger trees get much more weight in them. Oh, that's no good. That's gonna need chopping up. Can't lift that. Way too heavy. So the first thing first is to separate the 2 bits in the middle there. It's like a chicken's wishbone, that. Let's come a bit closer. That one should be movable now. I mean, this has been an immense tree. I think we're pushing the boundaries of our land a bit there, so... That one can disappear into the bushes. I mean, whenever I have to clear this up, this is going to make it an immense ball ache for me. It's going to be horrendous. But for now, I could just forget about it. Come on, where are you? I mean, these logs would be good for burning, for firewood. So, get rid of that tree stump. I think there's another tree stump somewhere. Yep. And so we need to have a combine harvester. Oh, it's not working because that is distracting it. So we'll get rid of that one. And then we'll worry about the other. I suspect this bit will still be too heavy, of course it is. There you go, we've kept to the rules of the game and not used the super strength unnecessarily. And managed to clear a space. Now, I might just do a couple more trees. But first I'll test it and see what we think the caravan will look like as it is now. It could just be that we need a little bit more work. But I mean, I have to say that this is boring. I'm not a forestry guy, I have to say. I think anybody doing the forestry is an absolute hero because I can't be doing it. I can never control the vehicles. So, wow, I can carry this one. I was not expecting to be able to do that. The weight of some of them little ones. And then this big one now. I think I've lost my bike in all this, you know. Hello, bike? Let's move my bike to where I can see it. This is one of those little bits that almost impossible to get rid of, but we've managed it. So let's just have a quick look at whether we can get a caravan in a decent position there. Farmhouses. I think that looks pretty cool. Oh, that's a good job. I think it looks pretty cool because I've accidentally pressed it. So that's where it's going. I was just going to try and angle it a little bit, but that's okay. That works for me. So now we need to set the delivery point for all our vehicles, and I'm going to do it here because it's a nice big open space. So it's that. So for anyone who doesn't know that, if you've got the store delivery mod, it's left shift, left alt, and S on the keyboard if you're PC player. No idea if you're a console player because I don't do console. But so now we want to first of all look in here. No, that's owned items. It's that one I wanted to look in. Wow, look at that, 34k for a Massey Ferguson. 55% off. It's got 105 horsepower. I was going to lease a tractor, but that is pretty cheap. Is 105 enough? That is the question. So that's no good to us. That's no good to us. That is. So I'll definitely buy that. Well, look at that Massey Ferguson. So what a 3-point. Front loader attachment is a quick one. No idea what this does, but doesn't cost us anything to have some of it on, so we'll do that. We don't want wheel weights at the moment. So what is it? Wow, it's going up in price the more horsepower we get. No, I've decided against it. We'll lease a tractor. So of the used stuff, there's nothing there that I want. What, a medium tractor? So let's. I think we can afford anything up to about I don't know, 120. Would you say? So I don't think that's been unrealistic. So all these are 190. I mean, that's 180 and that's 170. I do like the look of that one. The Starry. It's but you don't get the options for the front loader, so it's no good. The Fendt Vario. John Deere. John O'Deere, the 7810 is a possibility. The 6R That's the Pirate series. Ah. T7 from New Holland. The Vulture. I do like the Vultures. That one there is a very definite 190 horsepower. And you can do loads with it. A quick, I don't know what that is. Doesn't cost much, but we're going to be leasing it anyway. I don't know what that does, so we won't mess with it. Exhaust is chrome. The rim, we want chrome if we've got it. No, that's white. Roof colour white. So that'll do. And we'll lease that. So that's going to be there. We need to buy a trailer. So, trailers. For sale or rent. Rooms to let. 15 cents. So we're doing okay for money, so we could probably look at a decent sized one. And I really hate this particular one, but it does hold so much that I'm going to buy it. So, pretty sure that it'll be okay with our tractor anyway. I don't know why I've come off it like that, but never mind. There we go. I mean, shopping is so much fun, but you just got to be a little bit careful that you don't go too mad early on. I think as good as it'd be to store this harvest, I think we're going to have to sell it straight away, just to get us the money to make sure that we're okay for the. Why is that? What have I done? That's. It's not as cheap as I thought. Let's just see how much, what else we could get. The reason I don't like it is because it's so slow at tipping. But I mean, there's just nothing anywhere near that price. That is anywhere close to the amount it gets in it. I mean, all the other ones that get that sort of volume are giant. Oh, it's gonna have to be that one for now. I hate it with a passion because of how slow it is to empty, but there we go. So that's that purchased. So that is ours to loathe. And then we do want a combine harvester and the headers, don't we? So harvester. So what are we going for? So combinations. 8.5. So I think so we're going to lease that, and now why did it not take me straight back to that combine harvester? Because now I've got to find it again, and if I get the wrong one, I'm stuffed. I think it was that one. So better be some money's worth in this harvest. Could you put that any closer together? Right, so we want to get the combine harvester on the go. I got a brand new combine harvester. Yes. So here we go. Now, I think traffic is off, but even if it was on, I would have kept this. What have we got? 94,000. Will I get across the bridge with this? So is that the field there? Yeah, bummer if it wasn't. So. So. VB. Oh, I've got to unfold it first. Wait for it to unfold. And we are about to harvest for the first time on Edgewater. It's exciting. Here we go. Just want to check something with that. Doesn't do the straw, does it, on this? So I'm not sure whether we can get straw swaths from this, but not convinced on the realism of the textures on some parts of this map, I have to say. That I don't know, the graphics just don't seem as sharp on it. I mean, I don't know if that's a setting that I've got or what, but I don't know, some of them just look a lot more realistic. And I don't know if that's down to the maps or to well, I don't know. Maybe I've got a setting. I don't know. Just doesn't quite seem as realistic in some respects as some of the other maps. And it could just be me. Could be my imagination, I don't know. So that is the main headland complete. So now I want to just create a bit more of a square field that I can get a helper to do. So what I'll do is scoot right across here and isolate that bit, and I'll finish that bit off at the end and get a worker just going away on that while I go get the trailer ready to load up this canola. I think was in this field. Pretty sure it was. I think if you're going to use a helper, it's always a good idea, especially on fields with fences and collisions all over the show. To basically just give them as much of a head start away from the collisions as possible. So let's see what happens now when I press H. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna be going at a funny angle, so we don't want that. So I need to straighten him up and see whether I can convince him to go in a straight line. How about that? That's not bad, that's better. So we'll get in this tractor, which has got an intolerably tight reversing angle to get out of there, but so zoom out a bit so I can see where I'm reversing, and up a bit, and we're on. Of course, I've got a bad feeling last time I did this that the combine harvester couldn't reach this trailer. That's a thought that I've just had. So I might be selling this trailer, trying to get my money back, because we can't afford it. So I'll grab a drink while I let the worker do a little bit of work. Okay, so I think we're ready to wrestle back control from the worker. So if we press... Oh, no, don't want you to do that, though. Why would you start? We just wanted to keep rolling. See, I don't think we can actually... I've got this so that it's got the straw being saved, but I don't actually think that we can really save it, so... I am a little bit concerned here that we might have bought a trailer that won't reach. Which would be a real nuisance, because we probably could have got away with a smaller trailer. And I hate this trailer anyway because of how slow it is to unload. So I am beginning to think, do I just send it back? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Doing a worse job than the helper. Which is actually quite an achievement. These helpers are absolutely useless usually. Come on, cruise control. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm quite impressed with this map. I think it's got some really good points on it. I sometimes think that maps are a little bit better when they're centralised around the town rather than the town being just in the edge of it. But I don't know. Maybe that's because I'm used to living in a town. Whichever way out you go, you come into countryside, and you know, maybe that's just the way I see the world. But perhaps in some places the agriculture is literally one side of the town, and then the other side is all urban and not rural, but certainly occupied areas. Yeah, I mean, we're basically going to get a whole field in this one thing. I'm going to get rid of that trailer and get a smaller trailer. It's decided. Because it's not being used, I'll make sure I get a full refund. Some people might say it's cheating, but I don't see why I should spend out on something, not use it, and not be able to take it back for the full refund. We'll have paid delivery cost on it at least, so that would have been would have already put me at a loss, really. It's not a bad little combine actually. This it seems to be handling the job very well. The driver not so much, but right. So we've got 86% capacity filled so far. And cruise control not working again, that's annoying. This little triangle a little bit in the middle of the field, and this field is done. So it's an interesting strategy. I don't know what other people are doing on this Edgewater map, but it'd be great to hear in your comments if you decided to take the plunge with the Edgewater map, and what it is that you're planning to do with it. Did you start off with a farm, or with the 1.5 million, or like I always do? Have you gone for the hard challenge of the 500,000 in the bank, 200 grand of debt, and see where it goes? I mean, I always invariably end up 500,000 in debt, but that's another matter altogether, isn't it? But it'll mean that my farm probably starts a bit slower than all the others. But let's just jump into that, and in fact, let's go to the shop. Would be the one that I bought that I decide is no good. Let's get rid of that. Sell. Yes. Okay. Back. We'll add the 5,000 back on. That it's done me out of. And we want. What am I doing? Why do I keep pressing that? Trailers. So you got the really cheap one there, but I'm not going to go for that one. So I think I'll go with that one. It's nowhere near as big as that one. So so just buy that, and that will do. And I better go and get it with my tractor. I've forgotten where my house is. Didn't take long, did it? Oh dear. 3 deer. Which is better than being 2 deer. I had a feeling I was a little bit off then. So tell you what, I don't half deliver those very close to the previous item that's still in its place. So we've got a couple of grain places that we can sell this stuff at, but the one thing I would say with that is that I probably should have brought it further onto the field. It would have been a lot easier. Oh. Let that get nice and high. It does actually look quite a high thing. It probably would have coped with that for one, but I don't like that trailer. It's just so slow at emptying. There we go. Let that fill up. I think we'll get everything into that trailer, but I'm not 100% sure of that. It's looking likely. I think we're okay. Wow, we've managed nearly 2.5 hours already. That's a pretty impressive stream. It shows you the size of the map though, and the size of the fields around it. That we go on an adventure, looking at all these buildings and stuff like that. And the laughable irony of it all is that we've decided not to buy any of them. So, right, so we'll head straight over to the other field. I'll do a headland for the field, and then we'll go and sell that harvest. So I presume I can just carefully drive over here. Double check it's definitely a field I own. It's not. It's a good job I checked. Woohoo! That was close. I'd have had a farmer chasing me for theft. It's a much smaller field this, so it shouldn't be an issue. Fairly straight on that side, so if I do a headland here, so that it never at any point gets close to the side of the field, so we shouldn't have any issues then. Can't believe I nearly did somebody else's field then. That would have been interesting. Oh, the eye. Oh. I was just about rubbing my eyes, thinking the eyes are going, getting a bit tired. And I knocked my keyboard and nearly went off. So what I want to do here is just make this end much less crashable, and then we can just set the worker on his merry way, and that should then be enough. So what I'll do is I'll have him running along this far edge. It's perfectly straight, so if he can't handle that, I will do my nut, and I will take the first grain to one of the selling points. But I'll have to look on the map to find out where that is, because I haven't got a clue. Let's push it as close to the fence as we dare. I would be tempted to run down the this fence one, but surely it's straight enough that the helper can handle that. So I'll leave him doing that. Hopefully he'll stay on the same field and not try and do what I did. Should check the map really before where I'm going. So we have, let's look at the prices first. Canola, I think it is that we're selling. So we've got Northern Mill and Grain West, which I believe might be the trains. Oh, or is that the train? Tag place. Let's see if we can see where that is. No is the answer. Ah, it's over there, which doesn't fill me with too much confidence. So I've no idea where to go, to be honest. We'll try out of here, turn right. And for some reason, I'm going in completely the wrong direction. How did that happen? I just hope this isn't a train one. I don't know if there's a way of telling, or anybody on who will tell me before I drive a million miles and find that I can't drop it. At least I get to see what's going on with my combine. What's going on? Why have you stopped? You can't be full already. Wow, he's full. That is incredible. Well, you'll have to stay full, because I've got to get this. Can't mix the products up, so... Can't believe that. Must be a high yield on those, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was in the field. But it must be a high yield, whatever it is, because that has filled up very quickly. Where the heck have I got to go here? I'm gonna have to look on the big map. I just can't find the flipping place. That one. So I'm there. Not there. It's not there. No, it's usually highlighted. Oh. It is a train, isn't it? I've never used a train before. I don't really know how to use it, but I think you end up paying for the train. So, we've got the big map on just while I try and work out where the heck I've got to go. But we basically come to a right turn, and it's down there. I hate delivering to the train. I don't really know what to do with it. Always avoided it. But it was much higher than the others, so we'll give it a go. I presume you get charged for use of the train as well. Oh, miles away. I've just realised I've been driving all this time and I've got a steering wheel in front of me. It's not unusual for me to forget that, but it does explain why my fingers are killing me. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. How do I get to it? Oh, man. What do I do? We'd take it to somewhere else. I'm not faffing around with something I don't know how to do. Canola. That's miles away. Let's see where that place is. Okay, so that's in the town. So if I continue down here, when this train's gone past. I've just no idea how to work that train at all. I think that's one of the buildings that we never found. But it's too late now, we've bought... It's got a nice silo on it. Perhaps this wouldn't have been a bad place to consider. But we're not on the tour anymore, we've got our place. I'd say a little corner of happiness, but we're surrounding our little corner of happiness because we can't afford it. And so the hope is that we manage to survive I think I can go straight on. Yeah, we've managed to survive, or should we manage to survive through to the next year. I think we'll have plenty of money by the end of next year through the size of that field that we intend to make grass. So I'm a little bit unsure about which bit I should be going down. I think it's this end one here, but it is a complete guess, and I could be driving myself into a trap. So I need to go right here, and there it is. Pretty sure you're probably supposed to go through the other way, but since we come from this direction, head into there. Is that close enough that we can empty it? Let's see what happens. The money is going up, that's always a good sign. So a harvest for something we didn't plant, well, a little bit underwhelming actually that, but never mind. So now to get back, I don't think it'd have been massively more if we'd have gone for that. How do we get out of this place now? So I think we get on this road, turn left onto this road, and then we just got to turn right onto the road that we live on. I think that's how it works. So actually it's not too far from the shops and everything. So I mean, I don't think actually, I think the fields are big, and because there's no like roads cutting across the middle too often, I think that the map seems bigger than it is. It's just because of some absolutely humongous fields that that makes it feel like it's bigger than what it is, the map. But it didn't take us long then to do a big loop around looking for that grain place then. So I could do with finding that button. and that button so I can concentrate on loading up. Oh man, my eyes are so bad I can't read the chat anymore. It is 1:45. It's getting well beyond bedtime now. I think we'll get this harvest done and knock it on the head for the night. It's been I think I've enjoyed it. I think it's been a bit of an eye-opener with these. Is it peas that I'm doing now? I don't know what it is I'm doing. I'm gonna have to quickly jump out and have a quick look. Oh, it is oats. Well, this feels like it filled it up very quickly, because I swear this is a smaller field. 2.9 acres. Let's head across to that field and see what that says that is. Field area 15, 3 put. So that's a whole acre bigger. And it didn't fill the combine up. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned that this field won't fit in this trailer. But anyway. So what we'll just quickly do is move the trailer back off onto the other field just so it's out of the way. And I think the next time we come, the next job will be to plough the fields we've got and seed grass into the big field. I don't know what we're going to put in these fields, but we'll have a think about it in the meantime, and it'll have to be something that we can cope with, I suppose. But then with the grass, we're going to need a mower, a baler of some sort. I'm intrigued to see what he does now, because he's missed this massive bit in front of me. In fact, why pay the wages of him when we could be doing it ourselves? We'll just do this square here. What I can't decide is whether it's worth baling this straw or not. If we can afford a baler after we've cashed in the harvest, then maybe. But until I know that for sure, I just don't know if it's worth baling it or not. But I won't have to make the decision today, because like I say, if I do carry on this one, I'm not going to sort of like play it off screen and then come back on. This is what's changed, that sort of thing. I think what I'm going to do is just play this one where we stop it one day. When we come back on, we'll do it again, and I'll probably just like maybe do this one once a week, maybe chuck in the occasional weekend visit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I am really fighting the tiredness now. Yeah, so we'll probably like just do 1 day a week on Edgewater. Wow, we're full again. We're not going to fit a whole field on this trailer. And that is not good. That means another trip. I mean, I'm not complaining. The more that goes in, the more money we get, but think the trailer's got to be full. Oh, what a pain. Tell you what, the deer like being around here anyway. Oh, just remembered something. I've got crop destruction on and I've just been driving through the crops. So now, oats. Wow, look at the low prices on them. So, grain west. Actually, where we've just been is easily the best price for these, which is a bonus because we know where we're going. We haven't got to worry about cars because I've still got traffic switched off. I could switch it back on at some point, make the game a little bit more realistic, but for now we've just got a couple of trips to this place and that'll be it for the day. We'll see. Financially we're okay. But it's not brilliant. Everything that we're gonna have to do is gonna be leased equipment. I mean, I need to get this finished as quickly as possible so that we're not paying more for the combine harvester. But let's get some form of map on here so it gives me an idea of the road layout. I've got a bad feeling I've selected the wrong one. Yeah, that was... Oh. I'm gonna find how you do this train. Just for the sake of working it out. There's gotta be a way of doing it. I've just never done it before. So we're doing a lap around again. Too busy looking at the chat, not looking at the road ahead. Oh, 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 oh! I think I'm dead. Hello? Am I in heaven? Here's a problem now, I've got to go across the train track backwards. My nice new tractor and the blooming train's just smacked it. Oh, I didn't even see that then. The train track. So, I presume we're going left down here. Follow it round. I do like the look of that farm as well though. Has to be said. I'm going into third person view because I'm not really seeing what's going on. My eyes are fading in the tiredness. How do I get to it? What is that thing there? So, if I jump out... Do I wait here? Do I drive over there? I have no idea. while I'm waiting, let's have a quick butcher's over here. I have no idea. Presumably since it's fenced off, I'll just wait where I am. Oh, just been run over by the train. Where did he come from? I really need to turn the sounds up. So what do I do? Anybody know? So I've rented a train, but I don't know what to do with it. What do I do? Does anybody know? Do I drive down here? It's not looking likely. I don't know what to do, and I'm stuck. Oh, what on earth do I do? This is why I don't use the train. Because I just haven't got a clue what to do with it. So let's have that on green door. Just in case you have to do that. Well, the tractor's really struggling here. I just don't know what to do at all. I've crashed now. So we might have just spent £1,000 for nothing. So what, I'll just jump out and see what happens if I go up to here now. Doing this on live stream was not a good idea. What do you do? Right, I'll have to return the train because I haven't got a clue. So, well, it's going in the same place that we went to last time, regardless of price, because I'm done for today. I know where that place is, I can find that place. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on that because I have not got a clue how you get that train to work at all. I've done it before at a train, but I seem to remember it having a point that you dropped the grain into, and then a train came along and collected it. I can't work out there what I'm supposed to do with that. And I didn't just hit a sign, honest. So at least we know where we're going to this place. It's probably the worst price of the lot, but I don't care anymore. Nearly 3 hours in. 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. My eyes are so tired I can't see the time. No, my eyes are just not working. See, there's another train point there, but so not expecting this to be very good because the price was appalling. But we didn't grow it, so it's all profit for nothing. And effectively, the two harvests have paid for probably half of one of the bit bigger fields that we've. Well, certainly they'll pay for the leasing of the seeder and the seed that we have to buy and all that jazz. Well, it's pretty full. It's taken a long time to go down. And all the time it's going down, the money's going up, which is just what we want to see. All that for £7,000. That's pathetic. Well, I think we've probably got another grand's worth of grain in the combine harvester at best. There's only a tiny little portion of the field left, so what was pretty disappointing yield in the end certainly has turned me off the idea of doing them. You know, when you're trying to settle yourself in a particular land, you need things that are going to make you a lot of money quickly, and those two particular grains did not produce a great yield to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit too ambitious with it. But we have our house, we have some fields which we have now got to plough and decide what we're going to do with them. Could even be grass all the way, you know. I don't really want to be a grass farmer all my life, but just so disappointed with the yield from those two fields that I'm beginning to wonder if the grains are worth it. So what I'll do is I'll have a bit more of an investigation into the profitable grains on this map, and then I'll worry about it, I think. So let's just jump across to the combine, get this last little bit of, should the combine ever move, get the last little bit of grain into the trailer, and that will be that for today. I will come back hopefully in exactly the same position minus the combine harvester, which because it's leased we'll be going back as soon as it's empty, to make sure that we don't pay any more than we have to. Oh, missed. There we go, that's going in. So yeah, it's a pathetic amount really. We're not, there's only a couple of grand left of that. I'm not gonna worry about that. If I do anything, I'll empty that off screen, and we'll have at best I reckon 120,000 in the bank, but that leaves us still quite short of where I wanted to be really. I wanted to be back to the 150 after the harvest. No, oh, look at that now. Would you believe it? That was not there before. Oh. Taking the mick. 62% off as well. Just out of interest, if we were to sell that. Anyway, we're not going to do it now because we've got a load of grain in it. We'll lose all that. So, oh, I went on there for a reason, didn't I? So that can go. What did I do wrong? Return. Yes. Okay. Now my mouse has disappeared, so I've got to come back up. Return. So the tractor we're stuck with until we can afford a tractor. But it'll be with us for a while, this, because we want a decent tractor. So yeah, I want to thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this content. I would encourage you to leave a like and subscribe, and please comment below, especially if you're watching this after the event, just so that I can know that you've seen it and enjoyed it, and it'd be great to hear from you, as we have put on what is our third adventure, well technically our fourth adventure, but certainly third of the live stream adventures on Farming Simulator 22. It will be a slow building series. I only intend to do it maybe once, or at most twice a week. The other series will take priority, but it's just good to have another map under our belt, something that we can come back to from time to time, and hopefully grow a really good farm. So until next time, I want to thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.